So the Lakers have done pretty good this offseason, but it's just not enough to put them over the hump. The Lakers have been pretty active this offseason. They've departed from the LeBron James era. They're now moving into the Luka Doncic era. Gave Austin Reeves a big contract. They signed Walker Kessler. And while doing all of this, Rob Pelinka, the GM, received a lot of backlash from fans as they saw it as him just handing out a large contract. He handed Austin Reeves a large contract. He handed Walker Kessler a large contract. He gave them an option at the end of their contracts to. He was just tricking. They said he was tricking. Word to low. They said he was tricking. But he's been active. He's been active. He's been filling in the holes, filling in the pieces to build around Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. He's getting the pieces that Luka has asked for. They solidified their core of the three henchmen, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Walker Kessler. Luka, we know what Luka's going to do. Austin Reeves has proven that he could be a great second option, great scoring option. Walker Kessler being that lob threat that Luka wanted. Also being a great rim protector, protecting the interior. So once you got your core, what you got to do, you got to build around them. So they've got those additional pieces. They got Mamu, who's a great hustle player. He's a floor spacer, competes on both ends, pretty heady, makes high IQ plays. Runs in transition with the ball, not necessarily having the ball on the dribble, but running with the person that's pushing the break, cutting right down the lane, opening up opportunities for shooters on the wing, making the defense collapse down, or even just sometimes cutting at the right time when someone's driving and being there, having a quick float, or even putting it on a nigga neck here and there. And Grimes, proven floor spacer, able to put pressure on the rim off the bounce, off the catch. He's able to knock down shots, gets his hands in the passing lanes, and gets out and runs in transition. So he will create a lot of easy opportunities for the Lakers, as well as making sure that people can't help too much off of Luka and Austin. But we know how those LA lights can get, so we got to see how that plays a factor on all of these players that I name. Colin Sexton, he's a six man. Yeah, he's just a straight bucket. And then the recent signing that has Lakers fans very happy or very optimistic is Matisse Thybulle, the defensive pass, two-time all-defensive player. Can knock down open shots when need be, but he has had some injury concerns over the past 2 seasons. I think only playing like 45 out of 164 possible games. But after that, things kind of get shaky. They have Kevon Looney, Jaden Hardy, Jared Vanderbilt, Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, Bronny. After that, things kind of get shaky. You take into account those list of players that don't really bring much value on the court. Along with the guard duo of Luka and Austin Reeves, who are a backcourt that are going to be food on the defensive end. Yes, you have Walker Kessler in them to hold down the interior, but still, if you got food on the outside, all they need is a paint touch, get him to close down, dump off lob, or kick out, making the defense collapse. They're still a top team in the West. They'll be right there with the Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver, Portland. I'm high on Portland this year. Once it comes to those top 2 teams in the West, the Spurs and OKC, that's where they flame out. That's where they flame out to me. The Lakers pretty much, they acquired a bunch of players this offseason. Don't get me wrong. They got the pieces that Luka Doncic was asking for, but they've acquired all these players just to cover up the holes of one man. They gathered all these players just to cover up the holes of one man that they lost, and that's LeBron James, a 40-year-old, 41-year-old man. They had to acquire all these players to make up for that one player leaving, just to be in the same position that they were last year. But there is still a lot of time in the offseason. Players I stated earlier, he could possibly get off of them: Vanderbilt, Connect, LaVaria, Hardy, Bronny. Who knows? Bronny might be a Laker for life. We don't know. Maybe he could package something together, maybe get some draft picks, maybe get another wing, maybe get another big. I'm not high on Kevon Looney minutes, honestly, so I think you might need a big with more agility. There's more attributes than Kevon Looney. Defensively, if they get him on the switch, he's food. If a team is running in transition and they have a big that's faster, more athletic, who will run the floor, it might be Raps. If they're able to somehow finagle these pieces with minimal value into something, or maybe a team sees potential in one of these players and takes them off their hands and provides them with someone else, that's the last move that I think that they possibly could make. I see that Jonathan Kuminga, there's still a possibility of Jonathan Kuminga coming to the Lakers. Honestly, I don't think Jonathan Kuminga's a good basketball player. He can run the floor, but I see him more as an Obi Toppin type of guy. versus what he views himself as or what other people in the league may see him as. So I don't know if I would make that move. Or maybe you make the move, let him have some great games and try to see if he gets some value from there. But other than that, not too high on that. And we gotta give Rob Pelinka some credit. He definitely did trick. He was tricking. I kind of would have liked to see Peyton Watson, or at least make a move after Peyton Watson, just a wing that dynamic who was coming into his own. I think would have been really good alongside Luka and Austin. But I think that Quentin Grimes fares well. Mamu fares well. But I do think that one thing to be wary of is that injury bug. And if that injury bug gets hold of Luka, or even Austin Reeves has like the calf injury he had this year, this team could very well be a 6, 7 seed. No pun intended. We do know that Luka can win you a game, a series by himself, but I don't think this is enough to put them over the hump. If they are to match up with any other team outside of the OKC Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs, I'm pretty confident at taking the Lakers just because of Luka's star power. I'm not a fan of his, but I'm aware of how good he is and how he can win a series. Like, he's just that good. But once you get up against teams like that they have that many pieces, it's tough. It's tough. Let me know, Lakers fans, in the comments. Are y'all happy about this offseason or y'all pissed off? Let me know. Leave it in the comments, man. Engagement is everything. But until next time, it's your boy, Jay Lynch. Salute.